Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming to my live stream. We're going to say hello to people coming in. And if you're watching the replay, you can zip forward to the project. Hi, Becky. Hi, Linda Russell from California. Welcome. Hey, Zen Jen. And let's see. Hi, Dar. Today we're going to be playing with this specific watercolor technique on the Gelplate. Hi, Keeks. So, hi, Carla. So last week I ended off, I had some watercolor down on the Gelplate, and I was explaining that I was going to pick it up after the stream on my washi paper that Janet sent me. Thank you, Janet. Here she is. Hi, boss lady. So this was a bit of a fail. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Aunt Beck. Hey, Dee Dee. So we're going to talk about the fail, and we're going to talk about what we were shooting for in just a moment. Can everybody hear me okay? Hopefully you won't hear the construction outside. So I had let me get a picture of it. Fluff in my eye here. So I took a picture at the end of last stream. If you guys remember, if you were here, at the end I went, oh no, I forgot to finish this thing we were doing using the Gansai Tambi. I'm just going to go to split view here. Using the Gansai Tambi paints. So I had done, here, so with the Gansai Tambi paints, I had done some watercolor, okay? And this is what it looked like on my yellow plate. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, it's not as bright as it goes. And I let that dry. And then my idea was to do as I'd done on previous times, is use the gloss gel medium on the washi paper, and then stick the washi paper onto the gel plate and let it dry. Well, I must have used too much of the gloss gel medium because it wasn't drying. Like I checked it, like this one that I did on the stream after New Year's. I had done this one on the New Year's streamathon, and on this one I had put too much of the gloss gel, so it did that same thing. So the stream after, I did the same technique with an image transfer, and I picked it up using the gloss gel, but a much thinner coat. So I made that same mistake. I used too much gloss gel medium, and it just never dried. I pulled this off probably 2 days later, and it still wasn't dry. And there was stuff left on the plate. So then I did a pickup with, it was so stuck on the plate, I did a pickup with gold on regular paper. This is on the washi paper. So this didn't quite work. So what I'll probably do at some point is I'll just paint over this just with the translucent paint and then use it as washi paper. You can hear me? Oh, here, yeah, HEAR. Let's see. Let me go back to full screen here and see who else I missed. So it'll become more clear once I start. Hi, Kristen. Yeah, it's pretty grungy, and it's like, I don't know if you can see all that texture. It's like really textured. So this is on the washi sticker paper. So I'm going to try again. I'm going to do a couple experiments to try to get the watercolor technique using the gel plate onto the washi paper. So that's what we got. Now Janet has watercolor directly on the washi paper, which will do that too. It's all different techniques depending what look you're going for. Hi, Pamela. Hi, Shannon. Okay, so this was, I think Keeks mentioned this one. So this is one I did on my New Year's stream where I did the water. So what you do is you put matte gel medium. So you can use golden matte gel medium. I think on this one I had used acrylic North Shore matte gel medium, or matte medium, sorry, not gel, matte medium. you put it on your gel plate. So this one had some paint left over, but I put a coat of the gel medium. This was actually golden matte gel medium. I keep saying gel. I'm going to slow down. This was golden matte medium that I put on the plate. I used a brayer to brayer it on. I just left the leftover acrylic paint on there. I had extra, so I did another plate, which I'm going to show you in a second. And then you watercolor on top of the matte gel medium, and that helps the watercolor stay on the plate without beading too much. Hi, Diane. So that's the second step. So first step is you put your matte medium on the gel plate, you let it dry. Second step is you add your watercolor. So this one, I used Neocolors, Neocolor 2s. I dipped them in water and I just kind of drew on the plate and I let them mix. And I did this about an hour ago. Yeah, I like the red. This is one of my favorites. So this one's already dry. I did this an hour ago and I used my little fan to dry it as well. So that one's ready to be picked up. So we'll do that in a moment. We're going to try that on the washi paper. Hi, Sultry Groove. Welcome back. Hi, Beth. So then once the watercolor is dry, so this is dry, you use your gloss gel medium on your paper and then you put the paper onto the gel plate. If you try to put the gloss gel medium on here, it's just going to reactivate the watercolor and everything's going to smudge. Smudge, smudge, smudge. So this is one I did in January and I really like this one. It's an image transfer. And then I let the image transfer dry on the plate. And then I added the matte medium. I let that dry on the plate. And then I added the watercolor. And I let that dry, and then I picked it up onto, this is watercolor paper, using the gloss gel medium, but very thin coat. So this was done mostly on stream. This was done on stream. This was done on stream. These are all done in January, if you check my live stream. So, okay, y'all with the tour? Hi, Star. Okay, so we're gonna start with, so this one's ready to be picked up, but I'm going to get this one started, and while that's drying, we'll pick this one up. So I can zoom you in a little bit here, I think. Try to just get a move on because there's a lot of drying time involved in this technique. Hi, Anne. Okay, so this has the matte medium on it. It's not this one, it's the golden matte medium. And it has a little bit of gold and silver paint from when we did the balloon smash stuff, but I thought we'll just leave it on there. So what we can do is we can actually do our watercolor on here. This one is just very abstract. When I did that cup one, what I did is I put an image underneath my gel plate. This one's very yellow because of the alcohol inks. So you can draw your image. So I'm going to use that with this paint here. I think I'm going to flip it this way. And this is a Collage Soup image. So when I did the cup, I used Inktense pencils and watercolor. So let's just do that quickly. So I'm going to use my Inktense pencils and I'm going to use, I'm thinking I'm going to use this madder brown for the outline. Okay, now that I've got everything explained and started, I can slow down my speech a little bit. Hi, Brenda. And I'm a bit at an angle, so I'm going to move this one aside here for a second. I'm going to bring this just a bit closer to me. And I'm just going to draw. I'm not going to spend a lot of time. We're going to just kind of do it just as an example. You can do your own drawing. You don't have to have something under it. You could, draw a plant, draw a cat, whatever. And you don't, I mean, you can do this without a gel plate. You can certainly watercolor and draw without a gel plate, but I think it's kind of fun with the thing with the gel plate is you get sort of unexpected results. So I'm not going to follow these precisely. And I should probably change up the color too. I mean, I should have done maybe blue. And we got these fun little goggles here. So I'm just going to kind of outline them a little bit. And these lips. And so you can't, it might be hard to see exactly what I'm doing, but it'll be more apparent once I lift this off the reference image. So how's everybody doing today? Yeah, the goggles are fun, hey? Or even the Googles. So this is from the Collage Soup book, Something Fishy. Something's Fishy. And when I did the, keep it pretty simple. When I did the cup, I used a reference photo. It wasn't a Collage Soup reference photo, it was just another reference photo. Or you could use your own drawing. So this is where that paint is underneath, so I don't know how it's going to pick up there, but we're not going to worry about it too much. And then, okay, so I've got all the pieces. See that? I've got sort of the outline done. Put it back as best I can. So I think to do the eye part, I'm going to use the Inktense pencils. I'm just dipping the tip just very gently in water. I'm trying not to get to the wood. And then I use the black. This one's not very sharp, but that's okay. Just do that, and maybe a little bit here. Okay. So let's use, have I done gelatos or King Art crayon sticks? Oh, thank you, Tiffany. And welcome to the chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I have used King Art sticks. They don't move very much on the gel plate. I haven't tried gelatos, but that would be worth trying. With the water-soluble medium, I think this technique would always work. So I'm going to grab my fancy schmancy, or should we use, do you guys want me to use my Daniel Smith paints? Or do you want me to use the Art Nouveau set that I was playing with last week? Which set do you guys want me to paint the fish with? Do you want the Art Nouveau set, which is what we tried, what I tried to pull? That's what we tried to pull here. Should we try the Art Nouveau set? Hi, Safia. Yes, I like Inktense pencils. I'll just wait for you guys to decide if you want the Daniel Smith paints or the Art Nouveau Kuretake. Art Nouveau. All right. First one I saw said Art Nouveau. Okay, so we'll do the Art Nouveau. And let's just go ahead and do some oceany colors, some blues around him. So this has the matte, whoops, that's a green. This has the matte medium dried on the plate. So it does, the watercolor will beat up a little bit, but not as much as if it had no matte medium, which I believe I showed you guys last time. go to a lighter blue up here. And the more water you use, the longer it's going to take to dry as well. What we could do, you could even, when you pick it up with the gloss gel medium on the paper, you could have that coated. You could have a base coat on that. Like you could have maybe gold or something, and then that would show through. But remember, watercolor is usually transparent. So I'm going super light with this one here. This is the light. Let's do this dark green here. I feel like it needs more darkness below. So I'm not being like super precious. My precious. Well, we're going to do transfer today, Sultry. That's my plan. All right, so let's get a baby wipe, which is way over here. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Kimberly. Hope I didn't miss anybody. All right, so let's paint his goggles. Ooh, what if we use actually gold? Let's paint his goggles in the Fine Tech Gold. So I've got this Fine Tech Pearlescent Gold. Just gonna let that activate for a minute. Okay, should we do, I guess we could just do him like an orangey color, right? This Mars, where's my swatch? We could do him Mars yellow. Oops, some of the blue got in there because I touched it, but that's okay. So the ink tints will reactivate on the gel plate. It's not set, right? When you do ink tints on paper, if you totally activate it, once it dries, it's supposed to be fairly permanent-ish. So I don't mind that a little bit of that seep through. We'll do this. I'm trying to keep the watercolor fairly thick. Let's use this Venetian red here. Make some do that. It's hard to see. I'm going to take it off the background in a second. And let's put some in here too. And what else? We've got Mars yellow. We've got a bit of Venetian. We're going to use the gold here for the goggles. Okay. I think we should use the Venetian red for his lip here. What if should we use a green? For the top part, or should just use, maybe we'll just use this Mars. And we'll drop in some colors. Hi, Create and Relate. Wow, I just realized I just hit bottom on one of my pans of the Kuretake. I'll show you in a second. Okay, and then I'll use a little bit more of this Mars red. Not Mars red, Venetian red. And a little bit here. Okay, and let's do, I'm gonna add the, that's maybe too much water. It's gonna take a while to dry. And let's use this yellow brown for the strap. Okay. Hi, Butter Roll Boutique, Dorothea. I feel like dropping in some green, maybe this green gray. Just kind of around, like sort of like scales. Let's just drop some of that in. Just on the bottom part. Okay, I'm going to take that off, except when I move it, it's gonna, the last time I did it, I had this on my acrylic plate. Just gonna move that around a little bit. So it's gonna look pretty abstract-y. Let's drop in a little bit more of some blue. And a little bit of this grayish blue on the bottom. You can see here it's really wet still, so I'm going to just kind of drag some of that over here. And a little bit more of the gray here. Bring the gray up a little bit. So this isn't going to be as realistic looking as we got on that that cup. That cup was one of my favorites that I did. Just gonna try to spread that out a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry. I'm gonna see if I can put it on something that's gonna support it. I don't want it to, so let's do that. I might, you know what, I'm gonna just leave it, I have to leave it on here, because if I start moving it around, it's going to, once it's more dry, I can show you I can show you a bit more the areas. Just kind of want to spread that a little bit. I'm just kind of looking on an angle. Here we've got some orange seeping out, but that's okay. Let's get this blue a little bit closer. Okay. All right, so let's just leave it. Ideally, I would have had this on a acrylic. If I had my gel plate on an acrylic plate like this, then I could have put the image under the acrylic plate and then it'd be easy to take it off. But I already had this one taken. So next we're going to do that pickup. I'm putting the fish aside to dry. He's going to be pretty model-y, I think. All right, let's move these over here. Remember, this one was done with the matte medium that was dry on the plate. And then I used, before I started my stream, I used these Neocolor 2s dipped in water to make these patterns. And then I dried it with my little fan. Yes, it's a Gelliplate. For basics on jelly plating, I do have a video with my husband called Gelprinting 101 with hubby or something. And that kind of goes through more of the basics of what is a jelly plate. Okay, so now to pick this up, if I were to try to use the gloss gel medium and roll it on, it would just smear everything. So the idea is that you spread this onto your paper and then you put it on there. Okay, now this is the washi paper because I wanted to try with the washi sticker paper to see if I could get a better result than this. So I don't know if it's because the washi paper affected the gel medium or not. I'm not sure. But what I thought we could do is we could try two different things. We could apply the gloss medium, which is not as thick, onto a gel plate, press our washi paper in like that, and then put it on here. Now, with the washi sticker paper, remember one side's the back side and one side is the sticker side. So I wrote down back on this so I would know which side to put down. I want the washi paper down. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to take this one here. I'm just going to put it on my plate with the back side down, and I'm going to apply the gloss gel medium on top, but a very thin layer. Hi, Yuta. Okay, so this is the gloss gel medium. I'm putting it on the washi side. And the other thing I noticed, I watched my video from when I did this one, and what I noticed was I put it on the paper and then I used a brush to thin it out and spread it out a bit. So let me get a brush ready. Here's a brush. Just dampen that a little bit. Okay, so this is the gloss gel medium. So I'm going to try not to put too much this time, and I'm going to use a brush to spread it out a little bit. This is on the washi paper, on the washi side of the washi paper, and that's feeling very like it doesn't want to spread. And you want to put it on here before this dries. So I want it fully covered, but I'm having to thin it out quite a bit here. Let's see. It could just be that the washi paper on the sticker paper has some property on it. So I'm going to take that. This is the washi side, and I'm going to put it on half of here. Okay, and I'm going to push it down. Now this one is the one we're going to use the gloss medium. So I'm going to put the gloss medium on the gel plate, and then I'm going to press the washi side down and then transfer it here. We'll see. Let me write that on here. So this is the gloss gel experiment. And this one's going to be the gloss medium. Okay. All right, so we'll put a little bit of this. Let me cover this up here first. Thanks, Dar. Thank you for answering questions for me, guys. This is a little tricky to, this isn't a usual jelly plate technique, so it's hard to answer the regular jelly plating questions. So that's the gloss medium. I'm going to just spread it out like this. And I'm going to push this in. Let's see if we make sure we get full coverage. Okay, and push this on like that to get the gloss gel medium onto the washi paper. I'm not going to let it dry here. I'm going to just use it to pick up the gloss gel medium and hope that there's enough on there to stick that watercolor. Now, gloss gel mediums and matte mediums can be a little bit trickier to get off your gel plate, so I'm just going to give that a little bit of a wipe. So we're going to let that dry, and then we'll see how it worked. All right, so that's the idea. So I'm hoping to make some washi paper. Now, I should have cut a little piece of washi paper off here. Here, let me cut a little piece here. To show you. Oh, that's got medium on it though, doesn't it? Okay, that's not gonna work. We'll do a different thing. Okay, let's cover this. Do I think gloss versus matte makes a difference on the way it spreads and stays on the washi surface? It could. And I think the reason, so I got this technique using the watercolor where you pick it up using gloss gel medium. I got it from a Jelly Arts video, which is linked in my video, my first video in January. And they use gloss gel medium. So yeah, I don't know. I think matte medium, it might affect the clarity of your final print, but maybe not. I mean, that's something I could try another time, right? Okay, so let's do an image transfer. We'll do it on this one. So here I've just done a warm-up pull. There we go. So that's just a warm-up pull. I'm going to actually put this fan near the fish to get it drying. I'm just going to, this is a non-heat fan. I'm just going to put it over there to get some air circulation over our little fish, our fish print. Okay, so let's do an image transfer. So the options are, I had jellyfish on the bottom of that. So that fish with the goggles, on the other side there was jellyfish. So I thought maybe that would be a fun one to watercolor, but now it's in use, so we can't do that. So I thought we could either do this bear or we could do these marlin fish. Do you guys have a preference? Which one do you want me to try to do an image transfer of? Hi, Julie Parker. Thanks for coming, everybody. I sure appreciate you coming to hang out with me and play. Bear. All right. I saw bear first, so that's what we'll do. Now, with the Collage Soup books, with the magazine, I like the Liquitex Basics for the image transfer, right? But I find with the Collage Soup book, for me, what works better is the golden fluid. So I'm going to use that, and it's it dries very quick. So you want a thin layer So I'm just going to wipe off my other brayer here. It's full of the gloss medium. Is that fan too loud, guys? Okay. Yeah, Jen, I'm not sure about the properties of the washi paper as well. Hi, Marsh. Good to see you. All right, so let's try to do a transfer. Some days they don't work as well as others. Okay, so I'm gonna just put a layer on. I'll use this brayer, use my big brayer. And then we spread it out. Not too thick, not too thin. I'm gonna err on a bit. Just gonna do one pass here. And hope that was thin enough. And then you smush it out, get rid of any bubbles. So it's actually a resist technique. And what happens is where the dark paint is, the paint stays on the plate. Where there's not as dark paint, it sticks to the paper and comes off. So that's how you get the image showing up there. Yay, Diane. Okay, so now I have to let that dry. If I want to do the watercolor technique, I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to add some acrylic matte medium to give us the surface for the watercolor to stick on. Okay, so we got to let that dry. Now, does this paint will dry fairly fast? I just have to find a spot to put it. Let's see how our fish is doing. It's getting there. Let's bring him back here for a second. You can see there's a few areas that are still wet. Look at chat for a minute here. Well, Safia, some days it works better than others. I'm not 100% thrilled with that transfer, but it's okay. And I just put in a link for some of the Collage Soup books. So I'm just putting this fan a little bit closer to dry up some of that watercolor. Now, when I did this, like I said, this one here, I picked it up using watercolor paper. And this was a magazine transfer. I'm going to try cardstock though. I think I have a cardstock paper that's a bit thicker than what I used to use. So I'm going to grab one of those. Just a few little spots. Now where there is extra paint under here from that balloon smash day, I don't know how well it's going to pick up. And I don't think our washi is dry yet. So let me just take a peek. I want to give that a good chance to dry. That's true, Sophia. So you can't do this paper with the gloss gel medium until this has had a chance to dry, because you have to put it on immediately. And apparently you can do extra pulls, which I have done. I've done it just like that, or I've done it wiping the paint off, and I'm not really sure what works better. So we're almost ready for this. I'm going to check the bear. I can't spread the matte medium on it until it's dry. So it's not quite dry. It's almost dry. You like the bear? Yeah, that's a fun, maybe I'll just flip through that book a bit while that's drying. So the Woodland Wonders book, that's where the bear came from. And what I tend to do is lately what I do is when I take a page out of the Collage Soup book, I will scan it into my computer so that if I want to use the image again later, I can. So this is just a printout of this page that I had done a transfer with. This transfer didn't work that well, but I still have a good image of that. I can't use this for those coming in that don't know about transfers on the Gelplate. I can't use this to do it. Well, I shouldn't say that. This isn't ideal for doing a transfer on the Gelplate. Laser prints work pretty good. I haven't had a lot of experience with laser prints. But you want high contrast, and a transfer to work depends on the ink, depends on the paper. I don't know if you guys can see those okay. I don't like these fire ones, they bother me. Let me move this over a little bit more. Our fish is almost ready. So I'll just do a quick flip through of the images I have left in this book. So these loose ones at the front, I have already scanned into my computer. There's some more bears. This bear we did on that New Year's stream too, but we used pan pastels to colorize it, and then we picked it up with gold. So those are all scanned in my computer. Dee Dee did a fun collage with these bunnies. Dee Dee Willingham. Hi, paint again. So here's a quick flip through while we're waiting for some paint to dry. I'm just going to reorient that fan. Fastest flip through in the West. So there's lots of images in here. So something like this wouldn't be great for an image transfer because it's all kind of like there's not as much contrast. You can do colored images for a image transfer, but you have to have high contrast. Like this part would all look similar. You might get a good image appearance there. Hi, scrappy girl Dana Yates. So our fish is almost dry. Oh my gosh, there's lots of images in this book, hey? Koalas, you like koalas? I like the woodpeckers, that's really cool. These bird ladies are fun. So that's that book. Dee Dee Willingham has a lot of these books, and she does flip throughs. If you have a book you're wondering about, you can check if Dee Dee has one of the flip throughs. So this is dry. So while we're waiting for the fish to dry, we're going to put our matte medium on here. And I think I'm just going to use, instead of the golden matte medium, I'm just going to use this one, this North Shore matte medium. So I'm just doing this. I'm not going to pick it up right away. I'm just doing this so that I can use the watercolor technique over top of it. If I had tried to put this matte medium on before the bear was dry, then we would just be moving that black paint around. Okay, so we're going to let Just going to make it fairly thin. So to thin it, you have to brayer off lightly and then off brayer on another sheet of paper. So I'm going to let that sit to dry. And I think our fish is pretty good. There we go. Let that dry. It's just a little bit of a wet spot right here. If you look at an angle, you can see it's just a little bit wet. But you know what? I think we should we could go for it, or we could check our washi tape. Hi, Gina. Let's see if this is. Okay, interesting. Let's let that fish dry a little bit more. So we might be able to get, oh, interesting. So this is the gloss medium side. I don't know if I would wait longer, if I would get more of a transfer, but we could do, see here, you can see the matte medium coming off. That's what I want to happen. But it's just kind of, I don't know. Let's do another one. Let's see. So I crack the edges. Maybe it's just the washi paper it doesn't work with. I don't know. Let's see if I could get the matte medium base coming off. Okay, I'm going to take this off here. I'm going to pull it off this way and see if we can. It's kind of just stretching. It's like it's not sticking to the washi paper. See, look, I can like pull this off. I can like pull this off and it's not, it doesn't want to stick to the washi paper. So I'm just going to take this off and leave that on there. So the matte medium's still on there. I just think, I feel like it doesn't adhere, the gloss medium doesn't adhere to the washi paper very well. Or it could be I didn't leave it long enough, but I felt like this is what it was doing last time. Let's see if it comes off on regular paper. So we've got this one here. Let me cut this in half. I just need my paper trimmer. There it is. So this is cardstock. So I might have to, excuse me, I might have to experiment a little bit more with the washi paper and doing this technique. So let's do, this feels so dry. I feel crazy. I'm going to do something. When I did, where did it go? This shouldn't work, but I'm just looking for the one that failed. The ones that failed. Hello. Remember there was one that I picked up with gold? Let's just do that. I'm just going to see if this feels like it's really stuck on there and that's not going to come off. I'm going to just try this. And we'll either see all the color smudge, or we'll see that the matte medium sealed a lot of it down in there. Yeah, it's like an acrylic skin. I'm going to see if I can pick it up onto regular paper using gold. Whoa, that really came out quite a bit there. Let's do that. It's like it doesn't want to adhere to the washi paper, which is weird because I've done jelly printing on washi paper. So Sultry Groove, I use a Canon EcoTank printer. And I have printed on my washi sticker paper with it. And I don't remember if I've printed on cardstock yet. Okay, let's see if that comes off. So technically that should have smeared all that watercolor. And it did a little bit. All right, let's do our fish. Now I'm not going to do the fish on, I'm going to take him off that paper there. I'm going to try the acrylic matte gel medium. Now, I did these two using golden matte medium. Maybe golden matte medium's too smooth. Schmear. Okay, so let's do so this is the gloss medium. This was the gloss gel. I feel like the gloss medium worked better on the washi paper, but not great. What if we try, let's try the gloss medium. I don't know. Let's do the gloss gel medium on here, and we'll put it on there. Hi, Missy. Hi, Cindy. If I didn't say hi to you already. Sometimes I see some of you guys at other streams, and then I don't remember if I said hi on this channel, like while you're here, or if I said hi elsewhere. Okay, so I'm just spreading the gloss gel medium. Trying to get it thin so that it dries. It's pretty clean, so I'm going to put it back in there. And then I'm going to just see if I can spread it a little bit more. Make it a little bit thinner. I want it fully covered because we want the whole fish to pick up. It's pretty good. I think I'm going to put him down there. I'm going to smush him down like that. Okay, so we're going to let that dry. That's our fish. Let's watercolor our bear, and hopefully we'll have time to pick it up. Put this down here. Linda. Okay, so I think I'm going to use my Daniel Smiths for this. Okay, we'll put that over there. So let's do some red bricks. So remember, this has the matte medium on it. So the watercolor should kind of dry in place. Got his ear. Maybe we'll add a bit more red because let's do a bit of this permanent red on here too. On the bricks. Maybe that's too red. Let's add a bit more of the red iron oxide. I don't want it too red. And then we'll add some green. That's the bear. And I'm trying to follow chat. A bear 13 miles from you. Wow. What if we give him or her, I guess it's a her bear. Let's give them a bit of yellow ochre on their nose. Okay. And let's do the flower, let's do a red rose here. It'll help bring in some of that background red. And let's do some greens. How about some jadeite green? Just drop in a bunch of green here. And some cascade green. Now this is only working, if you're coming in now, it is only staying on the plate because we have a layer of matte medium between the image transfer and the bear. I think that's the arm. Maybe there's some green foliage around the rose. And what color of dress should we give her? I feel like doing this rhododendrite. It's like a pink, but it's quite soft and it's got the minerals in it. We could do that with the Titan buff to give it kind of like a aged look. We can add in some other colors too. My autofocus is kicking in. Thank you, Dar. I'll put it over here instead. Is that better? I'm not reaching across. Thanks for letting me know. What if we put a bit of this buff titanium. Bye, Julie. Have a good day at work. It's kind of like a softer color. Is that better, Dar? Yes, thank you. Whoops. I almost feel like putting in some red to tie in with that red. But then it looked like blood, won't it? Let's not do red. What about just a little bit of a orangey color? For like the ruffles. Just so it's not too not too continuous, you know? And let's put a little bit of yellow in with this green, just to tie it together. Then we'll let that dry. We'll see if our fish is dry. I feel like that's too, let's put some Titan Buff there. I just feel like it's too dark. Just want to soften that a little bit, not have it so stark. And we'll just put maybe a couple brick things over here. Okay. Hi, Lizzie Jean. Hi, Penka. We're playing with watercolor on the gel plate. So we're gonna let that dry. We can let it move a bit. I think I didn't get it on her little arms here enough. Okay, so I'm gonna put the fan on that. Let's see if these are ready. How are we doing for time? Doing pretty good. Hi, Messy Dye. I'll crack these edges here. So this is the one that we tried to do, the acrylic skin that we tried to do on the washi tape, and it just didn't want to stick to the washi tape. So we added gold paint. It's still resistant. Interesting. So if you have trouble getting your paper off, sometimes you can turn it over and pull the gel plate off the paper instead. So that is the watercolor picked up with this gold, which I don't know if that gives you any advantage. We'll see. I wonder if it's the golden matte medium that's too smooth, and that's why it's making that skin. Like here, the skin didn't. That's very weird. Okay, let's see if our fish is ready. Still feels wet. I don't think it's ready. Yeah, that's still wet. I can feel it. If it still feels cool, then it's wet. So that bear is going to take a little bit longer. Should we do another transfer while we're sitting here? So that's what our fish is going to look like. I'm very impatient. Okay, it's working. Gotta let it sit a little longer though. So, what should we do? Let's see. We could do a transfer of these jellyfish. I haven't warmed up this plate yet though. But we could just go for it. We could do a quick warm up. Just put some orange on here. Woo! So we could do this transfer using different color other than the black. So this is just a warm-up print. Yeah, so these jellyfish are from the Collage Soup Something's Fishy. Okay, so there's a bit of just a warm up. Let's use let's see, not green. This one feels too liquidy, but we could try it. let's try this purple. Feels very thick. I think I need more purple. Okay, let's see. Let's give it a go. Whoopsie, something fell on the ground. You want to push the bubbles out. Ooh, too sticky. That one didn't work. Too sticky. I think that purple paint was too thick and sticky. So I'm going to wipe this off. Woo! We can try something else. Let this dry. I'll have to try this one another day. Got some fine lines on there. That might make some good crusty bits. Let's try on, let's do a smaller thing on here. I do have the back of that other one has a shark man. Is he gonna fit? I don't think he's gonna fit. Yes, the universe is challenging me. We could do him. Let's do him in black. Yeah, that purple was too thick and sticky. But that's okay. Let's go back to the black one. Where's my black Liquitex here? Not Liquitex, this one here. Carbon black. Let's try that. Let's do that. Let's see. Wow, that's not working too good. He's kind of there. You can see his jacket pretty good. So we will go with that. Wipe this off. I can't even blame the heat here. I can see him. He's just very faint. Maybe we could use pan pastels. I'm just gonna wipe him. How are we doing for time though? Yeah, I can't blame the heat because it's not hot here. Yeah, okay, I'll put those aside. Let me wipe my hands. Or we could use the, let's go ahead and use the Neocolor 2s. Oh no, I have to let them dry and then put the matte medium. That was close. See, if you don't have the matte medium, it doesn't really stay on there very well. It kind of beads up a lot. So let's see how our bear's doing. Still got some wet spots. but we could just go for it. The rose is dry. We might have a few areas that might be missing, but I think we should go for it. Let's see how our fish, where did I put the fish? Here it is. Let's see how the fish is doing. Put him over here. Just dry that a little bit. Yeah. We could put like a cartoon face on him, right? Just going to let that dry a bit. That's okay, Jen. Okay, let's pull this up. Let's see how our fish looks. Wow. That, I think I used the golden matte medium on this one too. I feel like maybe this technique doesn't like golden matte medium. It's making like a skin. I have to like push it down. I didn't have this issue when I did the cup or when I did the lady. It's like the golden matte medium, which is the first layer, wants to do its own thing. It's like sticking to the plate. Wow. I'm having to peel that down. So this one we use the inexpensive North Shore matte medium. That's interesting. So I'm really curious to see if this bear, if the bear wants to stick to the plate, maybe it's not the matte medium, but just my environment. But see how it wanted to pull, it wanted to stay on here. But there's our fish with his gold goggles and crunchy edges. I'm gonna have to glue down some of these crunchy edges. Yeah, the matte medium, the golden matte medium is maybe it's too good. Because I don't think I used golden matte medium when I did that that lady, and when I did the cup, I think I used the North Shore matte medium. So the test will be if this one does the same thing, then it's my environment, or I'm not waiting long enough. Okay, let's do this one. He is cute. And the lines on there, that's because there's either lines in the pickup medium or in the medium below. Okay, let's do that. Okay, let's let's go for it. So what I'm going to do is, I know that when I did this one, I think I used the North Shore, I think. And I know I definitely used the Liquitex gloss gel to pick it up. Now this is on watercolor paper, mixed media paper, and this is cardstock, but it's quite a thick cardstock. So I don't think it's the cardstock that's an issue. So let's try that. Let's see what happens. You think it's the weather? It could be. It could be the weather. So this one, we got to put quite a bit to cover this. And oh, you know, I remember the other thing I did before I put this one down is I did spritz it with a bit of water, like the gloss gel medium. So let's try that. Okay, where's my spreader? I would like to be able to show you guys before my stream ends though. Okay. I'm gonna do this. Make sure I have enough. Go multiple ways. And then we'll use a brush. To get some of those lines out. And we'll spritz. Okay. Maybe I spritzed it too much. I don't know. All right, we're going to put that on there. And the other thing I did with the lady is I did put a book on top of it. Okay, I'm going to just wipe my hands. Fingers crossed, yes. Okay, I'm going to put a book on this. Sorry, it was loud. And then instead of doing more watercolor that we won't have time to pull, let's finish these up maybe using some pan pastels. So I could kind of see his face there. Let me get some pan pastels. Okay. And you can use pan pastels or makeup. It's a dry medium, so we won't have to wait for it to dry, which will be nice. Okay, I think I want to use a gray for his head though. And we should pick him up with like a metallic blue. I think that would be cool to pick him up with metallic blue. La, da, 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 da. So Art Junkie Shannon is going to be going on after me at about 5:15. Okay, so sharks are usually lighter at the bottom, right? So let's put a dark gray here. That. We'll do a light gray on the bottom. Diane says she's coloring in my twirling masked lady stencil with pan pastels right now. That's awesome. I feel like we should give him like a red tie or something. We'll make his teeth white. Let's just give him a. He's got a really long nose for a shark. I don't know. I know there's different kinds of sharks, so maybe he's a special long nose shark or something. Okay, let's give him. I'm going to wipe this on a paper towel. Let's give him white teeth here. We'll give him a white collar. And I feel like he should have like a red ascot. Thanks for hanging in there with me, guys. I know it's hasn't been the most successful stream, but you know, I think it's okay to show that not all your ideas work. And then also sometimes they'll work and sometimes they won't. Like you don't really, and that's okay. It's, you know, enjoy the process, have fun. We're giving him a red tie. This is pan pastel still. Should we give him red pants? Or is that too much? Where did my, there we go. Let's do white shirt. And what about a purple? Let's do a purple jacket. Bye, Becky. Thanks for coming. So we're doing this to spend time while we're waiting for our bear to dry. It could be that I'm just pulling things too soon, or it could be that the base layer doesn't like the golden matte medium. I don't know. So I've got my purple over here. That's why I'm going off screen. It's hard to see his hand here. Hi, Alice. Today's been a bit of a struggle bus, Alice. A little bit of a struggle, but that's okay. We'll give him white gloves. And we'll just kind of guess what this hand's doing. And let's give him red. Let's do a light pink vest. And let's do red pants. He is very dapper. Oh, this is his tail, right? I forgot. Let's give him his gray tail. So we'll do dark gray here. We'll do light gray. I wondered what that stuff was. I forgot he had a tail. Okay. And let's do a red stripe on his hat. And let's do light gray behind his hat. It's kind of a, I didn't clean off my thing, so it'd be like a reddish gray. Whoopsie. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Once you put it down, you can't get it off. Well, kind of. Let's just try to make it. Making his hat a little bigger. Well, that's a little bit of a mess now, isn't it? Oh well. Okay, so let's, I'd like to put some bubbles around him, maybe. Do I have any stamps? Bubble stamp. Oh, we could give him some steampunk gear stamps. Because we're going to pick them up with, I'm wondering if we should use this. Maybe we should use gold. Let's do some gears. Let me move this out of the way. It takes me 2 hours to stream. Well, it takes me 2 hours to get ready for a stream, 2 hours to stream, and then 2 hours to pick up my mess. Yeah, there is a vest. I tried to do his vest like a pinkish color. Let's do, or let's use a stencil. Yeah, let's do a stencil, and then we can use pan pastels, and then we don't have to wait for it to dry. I think I've got that stencil with all those bubbles. I think that would work good. I've got like those circles. Yeah. This one. This one is the Orbital Bliss. So we could do some bubbles around him. Let's see. Let's do that. Tempted to do what color bubbles? Pick up with gold. We've got red, purple, and gray. Red, purple, and gray. What color bubbles? I think blue, that's like too many. I don't want to do purple. We could do gold bubbles and pick them up with another color. Let's do that. Let's do gold. Something iridescent. I'm going to do gold, I think. And then I need to think about what color can we pick them up with. I'll put this down so I can hold the stencil. Thanks, Dar. Whoops. This is why I love pan pastels so much, because they are easy to use. They dry immediately. You can be somewhat precise with them. But if I'd used paint for that, we'd have to like dab all the paint. We'd have to wait for all the paint to dry. So once we take the stencil off, we can look at it again and rethink what colors. Maybe a, I don't want anything too dark. Still thinking. I hope that bear turns out. You could use what do you guys think about picking him up with like a silver color? So we'd have the silver and the gray, gold as a background, and then the silver would kind of tie into his skin color. But would it be enough contrast? I'm feeling indecisive. Let's see, I'm thinking. Is that crazy? Blue-green iridescent. I'm worried if I do silver that we're not going to see his head enough. Aqua green, I just think it's going to clash with the purple and the red. Or what about this color? Red flash. Because wherever I don't have the pan pastel very well, it's going to show through a bit. You guys think green? I guess like a teal green would be kind of like a pastel green. Maybe these two mixed. Red might lose his pants. Yeah. All right. Let's do a mixture of the green yellow and the blue green. I'm still tempted to use that pastel. Or we have this blue metallic. This isn't a color shift, it's just blue metallic. Okay, how about we do, I just do another layer of white behind his head to make sure it's opaque. Oops. I have to clean this or change that little thing soon. Now, even though it's washing him out here, excuse me, the dark color was put down first, so it will still show. I'm quite confident. Excuse me. Just want to make sure I have it completely opaque there. So you can still see him. Yeah, let's do the blue metallic. Let's go for it. So that's this one. This is Metallic Craft Smart Aquamarine. Okay, and I should get some paper ready. So we don't need a thick cardstock for this. We're just going to use the 32-pound. So thanks for sticking with me, everybody. This wasn't the most successful live stream, but hope you guys had fun. Hi, Ginger Cat Lady. Hi, Tommy Joe. Thanks for watching. Did I say hi to you, Lizzie Jean? Okay, let's see. So it should look something like that. I could have done a better job with this gold on this bubble. That was the first one we did. I must have, I think my wiper thing was a little bit contaminated, but that's okay. All right, so we'll let that dry. Should we check on Mr. Bear and see if how he's doing? We just put those there. Okay, let's check the bear. Still wet. I'm going to use the fan. We've got about 15 minutes left. I really want to pull this before we go. So this one worked pretty good. This was our backup, pulling the watercolor with gold. We put this pan pastel away. This is the washi tape experiment that I don't think it worked very well, those two, but maybe we can put them in our book while we're waiting. Let's put them in our washi tape book somewhere. This one's pretty good. Let's cut something. So if you won the giveaway last week, I had my company this week, so I haven't had a chance to mail it yet, but I'm gonna probably mail them tomorrow. Let's see. Put that there. Maybe. Let's put this over here. If we take a circle out, So this is the washi tape. Hi, Lori Buchanan. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming. Appreciate your kind comment. It's a bit of a struggle today. A bit of a struggle bus. This was the watercolor on the washi tape. So that's neat. I don't mind that. It's a bit crooked, but that's okay. We could add a circle here. That's right, Carla. You can have some grand fails and it'll give you ideas. Some what ifs and some what can I try to make this work? It's pretty sealed down there. So we got a piece in our washi tape book. Ideally, I would have liked to put this straight, but I don't know. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay. All right. Let's see. Maybe this guy's dry. This guy's ready. We've got a nice ghost print, but here's our shark man. We could add some shading to the, so we've got a ghost print, which you get with, or not ghost print, but some leftover pan pastel, which is pretty normal. So what we could do is we could use our Inktense pencils and we could shade those bubbles. We've got 10 minutes for this to dry. Series of unfortunate events. Oh, thanks, Keeks. Well, there's no use crying over spilt milk or spilt paint, right? Let's use, I want like a dark blue. Here we go, deep indigo. Or we could use a teal. Maybe teal would be better. Green aquamarine. Let's try the green aquamarine. So if we shade under the bubble, just use a water brush. He's perfectly charming. What a charming gentleman. So we could do that for each one of these bubbles. And we could use white. Hope that fan's not too loud, but I want to get that print dry. And then we can use our white Posca, or you guys couldn't see what I was doing there. Let's move that up, shall we? I'm gonna need a thinner. Hi, Carol. Carol was on with Anne Lar this morning. And we can shade around him too. Let's see. He's a strange fella. And at 5:15 Eastern, Art Junkie Shannon's going to come on. So let's hope our bear's dry. Sorry I'm so quiet. Just contemplating Mr. Shark here. We could add several layers, right? We could even use the stencil to help us with the circles. Let's see, which way was it? No, no, no. No, no. This. There we go. Oops, I think I'm a bit off there. Just take this off. We're going to wait till the last second to pull the bear. There we go. If you take your time, you could do better with these bubbles for sure. But So we're missing Barbara Chicken Pot Pie to sing to us. I'm sure she'd be singing Tiny Bubbles right now. The Cupid Shuffle, what's that? So you guys get the idea, right? Oh, that shark babe has such teeth, dear, and he shows them pearly white. Mac the knife. And we would maybe highlight his tie, give him like a little bit of a okay, should we try? Black eyes like doll's eyes. I don't remember that actually. Okay, let's see. Oh, that fan was loud. It's doing the same thing. It's all sticky. Okay, let's take this. It's not sticking. Wow. Okay, I'm going to take this off here. So it should look like that. Take this. I haven't taken this plate off. Oh. So we can crack the edges. I think Mac the Knife was Frank Sinatra. And I know Michael Bublé has done it. Okay, we're getting some. We're getting some. Oop. Not getting all. I think it's a fine line between getting enough matte medium or enough gloss medium. So I'm definitely going to have to work on that, but this was a bit better than the, I think here it was either drying or I didn't have enough, but not too bad. Like the dress worked pretty good. There's some spots where, you know, maybe if I let it dry longer, it might have stuck on there, but this edge didn't come up. Oops. But she looks distressed. I'm not totally unhappy. Yeah, that's my favorite line. We're going to need a bigger boat. Excuse me. Oh, so Ginger Kelly says Bobby Darin was the one who made Mac the Knife popular in 1959. Okay, so I think that's it for me for today. We got our bear that worked pretty well. Could have been better. We got Mr. Shark. We got a fish. And we got some failed washi tape experiments. So I think Let me move that over. There we go. Zoom out a bit. So if you're able to go see Sharon Art Junkie after this, that would be awesome. And some were fails, some worked better than others, but I enjoyed my time with you guys, and I'm gonna have to go take Lucy for her walk, do a little bit of some cleaning up in my room. But I really appreciate everybody coming and watching me sweat. So anyhow, so next week I'll be on the same time, same place, 3 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Mountain Time. Carla says no fails. Yeah. And thanks so much for Dar and Anne for my mods. And thank you for the super chat, Tiffany. I really appreciate that. And yeah, I hope everybody has a great week, a great weekend. It's Wednesday, so it's hump day. We're over the hump. And happy creating and have lots of fun, everybody. Bye-bye. And then this is where I have to take it off of the stand and press the button again. And it gets a little bit wonky there. All right. Bye, everybody.